Well, here I am again. As you may notice from my last few book talks, I have been doing them from this studio in the audio booth. It's very nice, very soundproof. It's a little cramped, but occasionally I can leave, stretch my legs if I want. But what if you couldn't leave? What if you were stuck in the same place, the same building for 30 years or more? What would your life be like? I asked this because today we're going to be covering Amber Toll's Gentleman in Moscow. Now, our Great Reads Club actually covered this book, I want to say a couple years ago, maybe 4. It's a great novel, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. I don't have any great introduction plan, so I'm just going to read the publisher's blurb. When in 1922, the 30-year-old accountant is deemed an unrepentant aristocrat by a Bolshevik tribunal, he is sentenced to house arrest in the Metropole, a grand hotel across the street from the Kremlin. An indomitable man of erudition and wit, Rostov must now live in an attic room while some of the most tumultuous times in Russian history are unfolding outside the hotel's doors. Unexpectedly, the Count's reduced circumstances provide him entry to a much larger world of emotional discovery as he forges friendships with hotel's other denizens, including a willful actress, a shrewd criminalite, a gregarious American, and a temperamental chef. But when fate suddenly puts the life of a young girl in his hands, he must draw on all his ingenuity to protect the future she so deserves. Now, you may be asking yourself, why is he bringing this book up after 4 years? Well, one, I never pick anything that's recent just because I don't. I should probably to actually promote our new materials, but I think this is a really good book, especially now because we all now have the experience of being very familiar with the four walls around us, especially as pandemic winds down. Still here to some extent, but we're now out more. I think all of our words, like you're either losing your job or at the very least you're going to be confined to your home much more, or your daily routines are just out of sorts and had to be changed dramatically. And that's why I think this novel is important, because even the characters, again, he's confined to a hotel. Well, it's a very large hotel, a very international hotel where he gets to meet lots of people from all over the world. Very cosmopolitan, in a place where it's that idea of like a cosmopolitan gentleness was supposed to be destroyed in the concept after the revolution in Russia. But again, life doesn't stop just because you're confined to one place. It keeps going. You have to find a way to live life. And I like that the main character is able, he really, not only does I'd say he thrives in that situation. Again, he's a consummate gentleman. There's one passage I want to share that really sails home right at the beginning. Let me get there. It's from the prosecutor. State your name. Rostov. Count Alexander Ilyevich Rostov, recipient of the Order of St. Andrew, member of the Jockey Club, master of the hunt. You may have your titles, but they are no use to anyone else. But for the record, are you not Alexander Rostov, born in St. Petersburg, 24 October, 1889? I am he. Now, before I begin, I must say I do not think that I have seen a jacket festooned with so many buttons. Thank you. That was not a compliment. In that case, I demand satisfaction on the field of honor. The room is silent. Now, I love this first page because it really shows you what kind of character we're going to be following for the rest of the novel. Again, keep in mind this is 1922 in Russia. This is the time where if you were dragged into a room, you're either going to be shot, lined up at a firing squad, or sent to the gulag. He somehow wound up with home arrest at a hotel, which is often considered very good, but again, he's confined there for the most of his life. But even in that circumstance, he thrives. It's like he's a consummate gentleman, and he's put in one place in this time period where he could not only just do that, but thrive in that environment, because later he becomes a waiter. He becomes a head waiter, becomes a very important part of the hotel staff. He basically just makes it, even when he's basically just a waiter, he makes his duty to just be a consummate gentleman and provide the best experience for the clientele of the hotel. Another thing I really like about it, it's very aware of the literature it's inheriting by covering this period. More specifically, like the works of Dostoevsky and Tolstoy and other greats of Russian literature and art. One novel I like to compare it a lot is to Notes from Underground by Dostoevsky, which was written in 1864. Now, while the story takes place in 1922 at the beginning, that story follows the enormous underground man, and he's one of the most bitter, spiteful, indecisive characters of all of literature. The 100 pages we know him, we see him trapped by his own hand in a meaningless desk job, while he scorns almost everyone he comes in contact with. Now, our Count Rostov could be said to reverse this character. Now, in spite of physically being trapped in an era, his life never stops developing. It becomes more richer as time comes on. He makes new routines, again, forges new friendships, then works for a hotel, becomes head waiter, and becomes a cultural tutor of a major party figure, has a fling with an actress, and even raises a daughter. He is anything but underground. I call him above ground because he is always reaching for something more. I love this book. Please read it. And to do that, again, we have several copies in print, also on CD, ebook, e-audiobook from Libby, which you can read directly from our Fountaindale app, but preferably in the Libby app, and Access 360. Now, for information on these services, head over to fountaindale.org/digital. Now, that's all I have for today. Talk about a man stuck in a room for 30 years makes me want to head outside. Enjoy the summer weather while it lasts, and have a good day.